Hi, and welcome to Tim's Old School Perspectives. Back again today talking about presidential polls because they are the thing to talk about right now. We are 1 week from the election, and yesterday we talked about Rasmussen polls. We talked about how that President Trump is now ahead in the national popular vote, which is awesome and really bodes well for the election. Today we're going to be talking about Trafalgar Group polling, which also was an extremely accurate poll in 2016. In fact, they were the only ones that predicted Trump would win Michigan and Pennsylvania. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Look, tomorrow's Superstar Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330. We choose truth over facts. Play the radio. Make sure make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Donald Trump does pose an existential threat to this. It's not hypothetical.
All right, thanks to Sloppy Joes, they're not just for kids anymore. And let's get on with the polling. All right, so first of all, something I did not mention yesterday from the Rasmussen polls was that Trump's job approval rating has risen to 52% versus 46% disapprove. This 6-point disparity is huge. 52% easily carried Barack Obama and George W. Bush to a second term. In fact, neither one of them had an approval rating that high. And so I think this is a very, very great development for the Trump campaign and for those of us who love Trump and would like to see him have a second term. All right, we'll take a look first at Ohio, and the Trafalgar Group gives us Ohio by 4 points. Ohio is an important bellwether, which I'll probably cover in another video altogether, but just know that even in the Real Clear Politics poll of polls, Trump is leading by a slight margin in Ohio, leading by 4 points in Trafalgar Group. This is very good news. Texas has been talked about as a state that could actually go blue. I'm really not buying that. That doesn't sound like Texas. Texas is really pretty much about oil, God, and guns, and all three of those are big strikes against Mr. Biden. Unfortunately, the blue folks are going to carry a lot of popular vote in Texas, and this is going to be closer than we'd want to see it. But Trafalgar says we're looking at a 6-point disparity going to Trump. Now, Trump won Texas by 9 in 2016. I'd like to see him win it by 25, but that's not going to happen. But 6 points, hey, let's take that. Let's roll on out to Arizona, where we talked about Arizona and Rasmussen a little bit, but today we'll talk about Trafalgar plus 4. Trafalgar plus 4 in Arizona is huge. Arizona has been targeted by the blue folks as a state that is turning purple on us. They are getting more and more support out of Maricopa County, which was the biggest county that voted for Trump in 2016. So let's keep our eye on Arizona, up by 4 in Trafalgar, but close in other polls. Michigan. This is a state that's pretty much been taken off life support by every poll except Trafalgar. But Trafalgar says that Michigan will win again, and hey, why not believe them? They picked it right in 2016. All right, let's move on to North Carolina, who's been extremely close in the Real Clear Politics poll of polls. They're running within the margin of error, but in North Carolina, Trafalgar has them up by 3%. And this looks like a very reasonable estimation. Trump won the state by 3 or 4 points, and I think that's probably going to happen again. It's looking pretty good in North Carolina, so let's keep an eye on North Carolina. Now, the forgotten state that many have just went ahead and checked it off their list of hopefuls for President Trump is the state of Minnesota, or the state of chaos. Now, we know that the riots began there after the George Floyd death. We know that it's really had problems. We know that there's a lot of people that's sick and tired of being sick and tired up there. I really think this is going to be extremely close. The mainstream polls has it around 5 or 6 points. However, no reputable poller has really put much out since the Trafalgar poll in August. In August, Trafalgar had them tied. Now, you might say this is a long time ago. It's now October, but President Trump was not faring that well in August, and so it doesn't stand to reason that this wouldn't be an accurate poll, that he could very well be right in the thick of things. So Minnesota is going to be an interesting state. The state of Wisconsin, I haven't seen a highly favorable poll for President Trump. It's got 10 electoral college votes, and we'd really like to see Trump carry this state as he did in 2016. It's very possible, and right now, the best polls are within the margin of error, but Trump needs to do some work in Wisconsin. This is a little bit scary. Another state that's in play that no one thinks is, but I'm calling it in play, is Nevada. Trafalgar hasn't gone there to do a poll, but there's been polls coming out of Nevada recently that shows us that Trump is right in the mix of it. And I do believe that he is. Trump has worked very hard in Nevada. He's campaigning in Nevada. We'll probably see him in Nevada some more. I believe Nevada could turn red, and if it does, we're probably looking then at a Trump landslide. Florida, no Trafalgar poll. However, Rasmussen's got him up 4. Florida is looking very, very good. North Carolina, Trafalgar has them up by 3. Might have discussed that one yesterday. I'd just like to punch home the fact that President Trump is looking really good in this campaign. So if you've been scared a little bit by some of these mainstream polls, I wouldn't worry about it too much. They was wrong in 2016, and it looks like they're probably going to be wrong again. President Trump, 2020, yeah. So, that's all I have to say on this. You guys have a great day. Peace out.